and welcome to this video. Now, if you don't know what the video is because of the title, this is a Hunger Games reading vlog, rereading vlog. I will be rereading The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Heads up, this will be a spoiler-filled video, so if you've never read any of the Hunger Games book, and I don't just mean for this book, I mean for all of them, because I have read them all, except for Sunrise on the Reaping. I have not read that. I'm reading these in prep for that. So if you haven't read any of them or even seen any of the movies, I do recommend going to read them or watch them and come back to this video, because this will be full spoilers. I'm not holding back. Because it would be really hard since I've already read it. It's really hard to hold stuff back when you've already read something. I will also be annotating The Hunger Games. And if you guys would like a video on my annotating style and whatnot, because I did in my March wrap-up or March review video that I just posted a while ago, I talked about that I annotated Legendary. So I can do that if you'd like. I'm actually waiting for a Amazon order to arrive with more annotating supplies, and I've thought about the colors I'm going to do for this, and I'm super excited to be annotating a classic in the 2010s staple of literature. And yeah, I can't wait for you guys to join me on this. And I think one of the things about the Hunger Games that I love the most, I'm going to say this before I start the video, I also don't have a rating for this. I can't remember what I rated it. I did rate the entire series 4 stars. You're probably like, why do you rate the whole series 4 stars? I don't enjoy Mockingjay. I know. Actually, comment down below in the comments, obviously. What's your favorite Hunger Games book, and what's your least favorite Hunger Games book? Because my favorite Hunger Games book is actually Catching Fire, and my least favorite's Mockingjay. I like the other two. They're like in the middle. It probably goes Catching Fire, Hunger Games, Battle of the Songbirds and the Snakes, and then Mockingjay. Fun fact for you. So yeah, comment down below which one's your favorite and which one's your least favorite. I'm really curious to hear your guys' opinions. So, I don't know what I rated this one. It's probably on my Goodreads somewhere. I can't remember what I rated it. It may change after I reread it, honestly. I think I've only reread this book twice. The first time I reread it, or I read it, and then the second. So I've read this book twice. Let's not say reread. But yeah, I cannot wait to dive into this. It's kind of like almost nostalgic, I guess, because it's been a minute since I've last read the OG trilogy of the Hunger Games. I read Battle of the Songbirds and the Snakes like a year ago. Not even. No, it was a year ago. And she just came out with a new book, Sunrise on the Reaping, which is about Haymitch's story. So I'm actually reading these in preparation for that book, because I am waiting for it to be on I'm waiting for it to be a paperback, because all my other Hunger Games books are paperback. So yeah, come along with me as I reread and annotate Hunger Games by the first Hunger Games book. And again, full spoiler video. Just trying to reread it like that. Let's get into it. Hey guys, so first update of this video. So I am 16% of the way through this book on chapter 5 on page 62. Didn't realize I was going to take this much time. I am also annotating, so that may be why I'm taking so long. It's because I'm very attentively reading and what's something that I've noticed. Something that I've noticed just now that I kind of wanted to point out is that Suzanne uses a lot of descriptions with animals when Katniss is describing people or circumstance. She uses a lot of animal references. Here's I know I should be embarrassed, but they're so unlike people that I'm no more self-conscious than if a trio of oddly colored birds were pecking around my feet. This is during when she's getting her makeover done the first time, and she has just met her group of stylists. Another one was my legs, arms, torso, underarms, and parts of my eyebrows have been stripped of the stuff. Her hair, they've plucked body hair, leaving me like a plucked bird ready for roast. Just something a lot like that. And that was just a description of the Capitol. I thought that was a very interesting one. I'm trying to think. I should be able to find them. Now, this was funny. She's talking about PETA this was back in chapter 2. Exactly how am I supposed to work in a thank you in there? Somehow it just won't seem sincere if I'm trying to slit his throat. Because this is talking about, like, how Peeta threw the bread to her and, asked for, trying to thank him, like, hey, thanks for the food. How am I supposed to be able to do that when I've, tried to slit your throat? When I'm trying to slit your throat. So that was a very interesting, and I also have, I have a foreshadowing tab, where, like, here, I have, like, it's this blue one here, where it's like, I suddenly recognize it, a mockingjay. They're funny birds and something of a slap in the face to the Capitol. During the rebellion, the Capitol bred a series of genetically altered animals as weapons, and then it keeps going, explaining what mockingjays are, and how they came to be, which I consider that, like, a reference and also a foreshadow at the same time. It's a reference to what happened in Bout of the Songbird and Snakes, how, President Snow, he wasn't president yet, he was part of the, peacekeepers. He got sent to District 12, and he convinced them to try and wrap up all the remaining Jabberjays, and they interacted with some Mockingjays, and then also foreshadowing of Katniss becoming the Mockingjay, becoming the symbol of resistance, which I thought was really interesting. There was one that I highlighted. Yeah, here we go. This one, I had one of each on here. This one actually is supposed to be gray. I mis-highlighted, but it's fine. Everything of, like, actually, no, that's kind of a description. They didn't really say that. So, how little chance we would send, like, these are the 3 blue ones I have here, are, like, references to the dark days during the rebellion, where I was like, which, they're like the 13th district obliterated, like, foreshadowing. No, it was not. I guess it's not really foreshadowing, but we're going with it that way. And then this was my favorite one now that I've read The Bout of Songbirds and the Snakes. Then he read the list of past District 12 victors. In 74 years, we have had exactly 2. Didn't know none of us knew who the second one was when this happened, when this book was first published, obviously. And now I know both of them. So just, like, coming back through and rereading this and having that, like, foreshadowing a reference tab, is really interesting for me, because I'm like, oh, this is something that comes back in this book, or comes back in, or referencing to something that happened in the past. So it's super interesting to be kind of coming back and reading this. So yeah, I'm on chapter 5. Kind of taking my time with this one, because again, I'm annotating, so I'm being very attentive to what I'm reading. And yeah, so I will see you guys soon with another update. Back with another update. Let's go. Okay, so I'm now 30% of the way through this book, and yes, I have been tabbing it. I don't know if you can see those super well. And yeah, I'm on chapter 9, page 114, 30% of the way through. So yes, I have gone farther since the last time I did it. I think I was like 16% of the way through last time I updated. While rereading this, I'm realizing how long it takes to get to the actual games. Like, we're in chapter 9, so it's gonna get into the interview, like them training for the interviews, and I'm like, I forgot how many pages it takes till it gets into the games and into the super interesting stuff. As a kid, I thought that was, like, way earlier on, I guess. But I have really been enjoying it. There's been a handful of, quotes that I highlighted because I thought they were interesting. I forgot about Katniss's inner monologue after she shoots her arrow at the apple in the roasted pig's mouth during her test, or her evaluation. Her inner monologue of that was so interesting to me. She was, like, just, like, freaking out, and I'm like, I forgot that she does that. It has been a minute. Like, in the movie, you don't really see this, but yeah, she's, like, freaking out. She's like, oh my goodness, is this gonna get my family killed? Is this gonna get me killed? Are they gonna get punished? What's gonna happen? What did I just do? I ruined my chances of winning. And obviously then, like, she brings that up with Haymitch, and, like, at the dinner table, and she's just like, they're like, no, yeah, they can't punish you guys without outing what happened in the evaluation, and they can't do that because the evaluations are secret. And then she gets a 11 score, and I don't know if she realizes that in later on in this book or in this chapter, is that they gave her such a high score so that she could be more of a target. Like, oh, she got a high score, she did something crazy, we're gonna target her. Specifically the careers target her and all that. Also, I just read a part where she was comparing Peeta and Gale, like her friendship with Gale, and then her kind of like faking this friendship with Peeta. And what did she say? That I thought was really interesting. I can't help comparing what I have with Gale to what I'm pretending to have with Peeta. How I never question Gale's motives while I do nothing but doubt the latter's. It's not a fair comparison, really. Gale and I were thrown together by a mutual need to survive. Peeta and I know that the other's survival means our own death. How do you sidestep that? Like, I'm comparing these guys, but it's not a fair comparison because obviously our circumstances were different. But I did think that was interesting. Just the beginning of her comparison, the beginning of the love triangle without even realizing it. I don't know why I didn't highlight this whole paragraph. But yeah, I'm definitely remembering a lot more things in this one. Not in this one. This time around, that I was like, I didn't realize this took that long to get there. But yeah, so yeah, I'm again 60% not 60. I wish I was 60. I'm 30% of the way through this book. On chapter 9, and I think after this chapter I'll be getting into the actual Hunger Games part. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Obviously, that's what the whole point of this video is. See you guys in the next clip. Bye! Hey guys, and I'm back with another update, and in a different spot, because I feel like I need to give you guys some new angles. So I'm actually at my desk right now, and I am now 52% of the way through the book. As you can clearly tell, I'm pretty far in. If I do say this, I have like 179 more pages to read. I'm finishing this book today, so you will get my full review at the end. Obviously, this is a reread, so I kind of already have a pre-established thought of this, but I realized this as I was reading this book, and I kind of notice that sometimes when I reread other books, is that they don't grasp my attention as much as new reads, which obviously makes sense. I already know what's going to happen. But I also think it does the thing of, like, I need to, like, pay more attention to find something that may shock me that I didn't catch the first time. While with new reads, I have, like, this, I need to know what happens. That's how I felt when I read Powerless. Favorite book of the whole year so far. Hopefully that won't change. I loved that book. But yeah, reading this, I'm like, it's taken me a week to get to halfway, which isn't normal for me. Normally I would probably be done with this. It's only 300 and something pages. Normally I would be done with this in a couple of days. But I have had things going on, so maybe that's partially why. But I think it's because I don't have, like, the huge urge of, like, I need to know what happens. I know what happens. I've read this book before. So if you ever, like, go and reread a book and you're like, why am I in a slump or something? Why am I not wanting to read this? You're most likely not in a slump. You may be, who knows? But for me, I know I'm not in a slump because I just finished reading a book that it was Wicked King. I just finished reading Wicked King, and that book got me all up in my head, and I was like, this is so cool. And I still am reading. It's just that this book doesn't catch my attention as much as it did the first time around. Which makes sense. Just wanted to point that out. You may not be in a book slump. You may just be like, I already know what happens. This is kind of, for me, rereads kind of are like a no-brain book. You know, like when you, like, read a romance book and you're like, I'm only reading this because I don't have to think. That's kind of what rereads are for me. They're like a refreshing, like, I don't have to think too hard or to understand the world building or characters and stuff because I already understand and get this world. I don't have to think as much, so I don't have to worry. This is my version. Rereads are my version of those romance books where, like, I just don't need to think. I can just read and enjoy. But yeah, so yeah, I'm halfway through this book, and the next time you guys will see me will be my review at the end. Hope you guys stick around till then. I'll see you in a bit. Sup? I finished The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I finished tabbing it too. This is actually probably one of the few books that I've tabbed a whole lot in. At the very beginning. There's a lot at the very beginning, and close to the end there's not as many. I will give you guys my review of this because that's kind of the whole point of watching this video. I give this book 4 stars. I do enjoy this book. I recommend this series to anyone who wants to read dystopian. I'd also recommend The Maze Runner as well. These are popular and well known and have movie adaptations for a reason. They're definitely not overhyped. They deserve all the attention that they get. I do think that like going back and annotating it and rereading it after reading all 3 of the other books, counting Sunrise on the Reaping there. Not counting Sunrise on the Reaping, I haven't read that one yet. Counting Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, that's the one I meant. I've noticed so many more foreshadowing things or references to, like close to the end, I'm trying to find the tab that I tabbed out with. Close to the end of the book, they wonder how Haymitch won his games, and Peeta's comments, like the conclusion they both come to is he outsmarted the others, and I would say that's like a reference to obviously his games that you find out about in Sunrise on the Reaping. I have not read, so please, no spoilers in the comments, people. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this reread. When Rue died, that still hurts. It still affects me, even though I knew it was coming. I knew exactly when it was coming. It still kills me. And I forgot, this is something I completely forgot about, is her reaction to Thresh dying. Because they had no interaction prior to when he saves her life from Clove earlier on not earlier on, before he dies, before him and Cato go at it and he is killed by Cato. Her reaction to that was a shock. I was like, I forgot that you actually liked this guy. Because again, it's been a minute since I last read this. So I was like, that was an interesting thing. And it wasn't even just for Rue. Like, she actually genuinely, like, we would have been good friends if we lived in the same district. She says this to Peeta in chapter... Hold up. Where was that? Oh my god, I can't remember where that was. Anyways, but yeah, that was a very interesting reaction to that. And one of my favorite descriptions, I highlighted I have to read this, the entire book. I was like, I love this one. This is the first kiss where I actually feel stirring inside my chest, warm and curious. This is the first kiss that makes me want another. So this is Katniss and Peeta's second kiss when they're both like awake and attentive in the cave. And I just love that. I'm Team Peeta. Honestly, Peeta deserved better than Katniss, but that's what he got. That's what he chose. But I'm Team Peeta, not Gale. For reasons you'll find out when I read the later on books, and I will give you my opinion on Gale. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of this video, or fast forwarding through half of it, because I'll be honest, I do that sometimes when I'm watching reading vlog as well. I skip to the talking parts. Reason why I'm just giving you guys talking parts, because I know that not everybody likes watching the person sit down and read for half of a video. But yes, thank you guys so much for sticking around. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And, comment down below your own Hunger Games thoughts and opinions. I'd love to read them. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this book, if you've read it. So yeah, stay tuned for my next video, which should be a reading vlog of me reading Arch Enemies, which is the second book in the Renegades trilogy by Marissa Meyer. Promoting that video right now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and will like to continue watching my rereading journey of the Hunger Games and those 4 books until I can get my hands on Sunrise on the Reaping. Yeah, until I see you guys next time. Bye.